Now all this I'm explaining to you is because I want to pose a challenge to your batch as a whole, and it will be an open technological challenge. What I want is that you must have seen the UAVs, the automatically guided vehicles. You know, there are some advertisements also wherein you will see that that guy brings the eggs into the shop of the father and he says, oh, I'm an IIN student, etc., etc. Now, the advertisement apart, I want to open a competition of UAVs. Okay, we will fund it. First, you have to design, you have to come up with a proposal, form your groups, and the groups, the proposals will be evaluated not by me, but by experts. We will invite the experts. You explain to them what the proposal is. We will take about 4 or 5 proposals and we will fund them for the development work. But you have to do it, and we will give you the space, we will give you all the facilities, but within 6 months or 9 months, etc., you have to build a UAV. Okay. Whether it is the same as what you saw in 3 Idiots, or whether it is the same as what you see in that idea advertisement, or whether you design your own one. Okay. But a UAV has to be designed by the students of MEC, and it's not a paper design. You have to show and demonstrate it to me that here is a UAV controlled from there, and whatever I am showing to you, or the pictures or whatever I am explaining to you, is directly applicable in that project. Okay. So the project is on, you can start the work. We will ask the faculty members to advise you. You can catch hold of some faculty member as your advisor or whatever you have. If you succeed, you will be the famous person. Okay? Is that all right? Or it is impossible? Nothing is impossible for an engineer, actually, sort of. So think about it. Now let's go to the second phase of this lecture. I have got homework now. I will explain to you the homework that I want to give you. There are 5 problems, and I will give you about 8 or 10 days. You can rather this whole week. Today is a Tuesday. By next Monday, you should complete the homework and turn it in your tutorial or in your lab sessions. What I am looking at is the following, that let's say we have got a Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. And I don't want to consider minus infinity to plus infinity. I want to consider a workspace which is minus 100, minus 100 to 100, 100. It's a square of length 200. Okay. So the first problem is, I mean, the problems are very much embedded one into another. The first thing is that suppose again I'm a blind person, and if I put a point, let us say the point is P, I want to find out whether the point is inside this workspace or outside the workspace. I am not asking you to check whether it is on the workspace boundary. That I have not asked. It is either inside or outside. The logic will be a little simpler. Okay. Now you have to write something, what I call it as a pseudo code, as if you are a dumb person and you have to execute instructions line by line. What kind of set of instructions that you will write? Converting that to a program is the second step. But even for yourself, what exactly? So the question that I am posing here is the following. All the problems I have summarized here, but this is my problem number 1. That is, consider a 2D Cartesian coordinate workspace, which I have just now explained to you. And you can give any number. 100 is just, I have explained to you as a data, but you can say generalize it as x minimum, x maximum, y minimum, y maximum. Okay. Input a point P and check if it is in or out of the workspace. Now obviously this is a very simple problem, in the sense that if something is inside or outside is nothing but logical inequalities, less than or greater than. So if suppose x that you have given to me is greater than x minimum and it is less than x maximum, then it is inside. Similarly, if y is greater than y minimum and y is less than y maximum, it is also within the boundary. And both these conditions have to be fulfilled simultaneously. If one of them is yes, other one is no, then the point is not inside. If both the conditions are true, then only the point is inside, else it is outside. Okay, so logic is very straightforward. All that you have to do is to write the logical steps in a very simple, detailed, and one step will execute only one operation. Please remember that you can't do all the juggling and combining the things. So write a generalized solution procedure in the form of a pseudocode. What is a pseudocode? Pseudocode is not a code which can be put on the machine. It is like the instructions that you will write. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1, read x minimum, x maximum, y minimum, y maximum. Step 2, read x, y. Okay. Step 3, check x, that means the condition that I have given there. It will give you true or false. Then step 4, it will give you true or false. Then step 5 will be if step 3 is true and if step 4 is true, and this AND word is not an English word, it is a logical AND. That means this true and that true together will become the true. Proposition will be true. So this is a very simple thing. You have to write. I just explained the first problem to you because I thought it will then be clear to you as to what you have to do. You have to say what is the, so there will be some inputting, there will be some processing, and there will be some output. So you can say write the answer. What will be the answer? Either it is in or out. Okay. Or you have given the incorrect data. I mean, sort of, you have to also make sure that the data is acceptable. If the data is not acceptable, then obviously you have to say that, look, this cannot be executed because you are giving ridiculous data. Okay. The last thing that I want to mention here is that though I am writing here as integers, the numbers could be real also. There is a very important classification in computer science. We call it as the numerals as integers or the digits you have. So if I say 30.567, obviously that will be a real number. Okay. So whether it is a floating point number or whether it is an integer, you have to be careful about it. Again, that classification you have to do upfront. Think about it. I don't want to give you all the clues, but I have given enough for the first problem, and second and third and fourth, etc. are very similar. So now, as I have explained to you earlier, that if I give 2 points here, let us say P, and the second point is Q, and there is a line PQ. Okay. Now this is the given thing. The line, the 2 points are given, so the infinite line passing through P and Q, and then what is given further is the point A, X, Y. Now here I have added a little bit more, that you have to check whether the point A is on the right, and remember we are going from P to Q. So the right and left has to be defined with respect to what? So when you are going from P to Q, as if you are sitting in a car and going that way, then the right side is on this side, left is on this side. So clearly which portion of the half space is right and which portion of the half space is left is also very clear to you. Now I'm not going to give you the answers here, but obviously to find out whether it is to the right or whether it is to the left, you will find that there are different ways, and there is not simply one mathematical solution. There could be alternative ways. So you decide amongst you decide what you want and write down. Whether it is a lengthy procedure or a short procedure is a different thing. What we call as an optimal algorithm. So whether it is an optimal algorithm or not doesn't matter, but it must give you a correct answer. You cannot write a procedure which will give me logically incorrect answer. And again here there will be some comparison. Some parameters will have to be calculated. Based on those parameters, you have to decide whether it is on the right or the left or on the line. Okay? And just a tip for it is AX plus BY plus C equal to 0. Okay, that is the tip.